Hi, today we're going to make cinnamon rolls, cinnamon buns, whatever you want to call them. And this is who's going to help me.
Hi, I'm Emily.
My beautiful daughter. Okay, so this is what you'll need.
Okay, so what you'll need is 2 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 3 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 egg, 2 1/4 tablespoon of yeast.
What yeast? Yeast. Okay, here's our yeast. So when we say 2 1/4 teaspoons, 2 1/4 teaspoons is basically one package if you're using package. I buy the yeast in bulk, so I have to measure it out.
Half a cup of water, 1/4 cup of milk, and 1 teaspoon of salt.
So, okay. So what we're going to start with is we need to warm the water and the milk. So we're going to add the milk to the water. Now you don't want it to be too hot. If it's too hot, it's going to kill the yeast. I see a lot of people put it in for 30 seconds. I'm not going to chance the 30 seconds. What I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put it in for like, I don't know, 18 seconds. So we'll put it in the microwave. And pinky, then it's too hot for the yeast.
Yeah, and then
if it feels warm,
wouldn't the yeast not cooperate?
Right, the yeast won't cooperate. It won't rise. So give this a little whisk and put your finger in it. If it feels chilled, we have to do it again.
It's warm.
Okay, yes, perfect. It's warm. So now we're gonna add that to the big bowl. I'm sorry. Okay, and then we're gonna add some sugar. Okay, this one's sugar. We're gonna add some sugar. That's gonna be for the yeast to feed on. I'm gonna give that a whisk. Give it a whisk. All right, now add the yeast over there by the peanuts.
All of it?
All of it. Sprinkle it across. There you go. Now give it a whisk again. Okay, now we want that to be foamy and frothy. All right, so in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to take our butter and put our butter in the microwave. Ooh, I love the smell of yeast. Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to cover it. And what I usually do is I usually throw a paper plate on top of it. All right, and let's try that for about 15 seconds, and we'll do this slow. So what we're going to do is now we really need to wait for this yeast to proof. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back in about 5 minutes. The yeast. Okay, the yeast is proof.
It looks like lemon meringue.
So you can see it kind of frothy and foamy. Okay, that's what you want. That's how you can tell your yeast is good. So now we're going to add the butter. So just put your finger in that butter and see how
Still warm.
It's warm but not hot, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to add the butter. Add all of it. Okay. Now we're going to add the egg. And now we're going to add the rest of the sugar. And now we're going to give that a nice little mix. It's a humid day. It's not a good day for baking. Sugar stuck to the bottom. Okay. So now you get a nice whisk. Make sure that egg's broken up. Good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to add the salt to the flour. Okay. And that's sticking too. All right, and give that a whisk. Mix it up really good. Okay. Okay, so now you're going to need that whisk. All right, you're going to need the liquid now. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to add most of the flour, and we're just going to reserve a little bit for when we do the bench kneading. So we're going to add, some flour.
Don't rush it, because then all of it might fall in, and you might not want that.
Maybe what we could do is, oh, that's wet. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll use this. Okay, ready? So this is going to be a typical dough. It's not going to be really sticky, but it shouldn't be too dry. If it's too dry, it's not going to be light when you bake it.
We made baguettes yesterday, and it was like we used olive oil and flour for it.
When we needed it, right? But what we did was we put herbs inside, and we made herb baguettes, and we cut them really thin, and then just drowned them in olive oil. And that was an appetizer with, what do we have? Fresh mozzarella and
Tomatoes.
And tomatoes. So that went over big. And that was Emily's doing. Yeah. So I asked Emily if she wanted to make a video today of our cinnamon buns, and she said sure. So I'm glad to see she's...
Dad, and when we added the oil to the dough before in the baguettes, wasn't it like really like moist?
It was really loose. It was a really loose dough. Normally I make my own dough, but that was a dough that we wanted to use, a store-bought dough that we wanted to use. You know what? Something happened. Either the recipe gave the wrong amount of flour.
It's getting thicker though.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get you. Well, that seems about right. Looks at things, it's going to need a lot more flour, so I'm going to be generous with the flour. Okay. So scrape it all out and put it on. I think because it's a very humid day that we were going to need more flour. So let me get a bowl scraper. Watch your back here. See if you can scrape it out with that. Okay. Okay, here, put this on your hands. That's good, baby. You're not going to be able to get much more than that. Put this on your hands, rub your hands together, Oops. And it should clean it off. Just rub them together. Okay. Don't forget to turn it when you need it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, can I show you a little trick if you need to?
So it's like that, and
then turn it. Right.
It's so sticky.
That's okay. It'll. You don't want to put too much on. Okay. Mm-hmm. Let's get everything that's on the bench off, and your hands will become clean. Trust me, I've done this a couple times. Make dough. First time cinnamon buns. I should think that's worth mentioning. Okay. Okay. Now, because we're going to need that, it's starting to. Okay. Alright, so There we go. So this is what we're going to do. Okay, your hands dry. Oh, sorry about that, folks. I'm sitting there and I'm kneading it and I'm not watching what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to knead it until it just comes together, and then Emily's going to knead it for the rest. Okay, but I can feel that it still may need a little bit of flour, but I'm going to knead it a little bit first.
His technique is like rolling it and then pushing it and then rolling it.
You can feel it depending on what your surface is. My surface is granite. You can feel the bench grabbing it. It's okay to grab it. That's fine. All right, so long as it doesn't stick. So there's a little bit sticking. So what we're going to do is I'm going to add a little bit more. This should do it. I'm hoping this does it because I don't want to add too much flour. And you'll know this is done when it has a bounce back when you press your fingers into the dough. So that's
good.
That's good. So if you can work with it like this, no, see now. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna work with this. I'm not putting any more flour down because I don't want it to become too dense.
Yeah.
Too dry.
And then it will be like Play-Doh.
Alright, so you want to get your hands dirty again, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let me just clean my hands off here. Alright. Emily will take over. Okay, so push, turn, there you go. Push, turn, push, turn.
Yesterday when I was making the baguettes,
Okay.
So we put oil in the bowl and we kneaded it more, and it's like really good. It's not sticky, and when you put your fingerprint in it, it kind of bounces back. So that's how you know it's good dough. And we're gonna put it in the oven to rise
With the heat off.
Yeah, it's gonna be up to
right.
here.
So we're gonna cover it with some plastic wrap, and then we're gonna cover it with some plastic wrap, and then we're gonna put it in the oven. So.
Ow, that hurt.
Yeah, there's a knife there, so be careful. Okay, so you just make sure the whole thing is covered. All right, now pull it out, pull it out, pull it out. There, it's covered. Okay, and
So now you can
oven off. Put it in, draft free. This should take about an hour.
I think the reason why we put it.
It's almost ready to come. It's almost risen.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, we're going to make the filling.
Mm-hmm.
So what we have here is 2/3 cup of brown sugar. To that, we're going to add 1 heaping tablespoon of cinnamon. Just unscrew it. Tilt it. There you go. That's good. It'll be nice and cinnamon-y. Okay.
It smells good. Don't eat this. It's very dangerous.
Yeah.
Don't eat it alone.
And we're going to add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Doesn't have to be exact, baby. If you make it over, that's fine. I like vanilla. That's good. So then we're going to mix that up with a fork. While Emily's doing that, I will grab the dough. And you can see how nice and smooth it is.
Risen a lot.
It's doubled in size, which is what you want. And we're gonna remove it.
Are we making the icing?
And the icing we make while it's in the oven. Or you can use the other soap.
I know. That's really
good. Okay.
Okay. So just punch it.
So just punch it.
Whoa!
Okay, now scrape it out. Okay, we're going to put a little bit, very, very little bit of flour down. That's all right. You can go put that in the sink now. Okay. So
Put this down.
put that down. All right, and start spreading it out. We want a rectangle. All right. And here you might need some so it doesn't stick. It's all right. So you want it kind of thin. Sorry, it's hard to be cameraman and tell her what to do. Keep going. That's good. You're doing right. Okay. Okay, so now you want to kind of pick it up and turn it sideways. So you want to turn it half turn. So so it's long ways this way. Is it sticking?
Yeah.
No, just a little bit. Okay.
Feels so fluffy.
That's a good dough. Okay, now so can you roll it this way, because it's got to be thinner than that. Okay, I know we need butter. I forgot the recipe doesn't tell me how much butter. So
This is like the thickness. It's not that thick, but it's not so thin.
right, it's about probably about
Pizza? Like
probably
maybe.
about a half inch. So you want a rectangle because you're going to have to roll it and it'll just be so much neater. Butter. Got butter here. I don't know if it's going to need to be softened a little bit. I don't know how much butter because the recipe that I was following didn't say. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to... Will that work? No, that won't work. So, all right, so I'm going to...
What if you do this?
No, because when I saw the recipe, it was kind of thick. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to me see if I can soften it up.
So like stick.
Right. So I think this is going to work out okay.
Big clump right there.
Okay, does it look like everything is...
Yes, maybe that, but it needs to be spread and put there.
Okay, that should be good. Okay. Now we're going to spread this and keep a little border on. Don't come up right to the edge. Okay?
Dang it.
That's okay. That's all right. You want to use your hands and sprinkle it? Use your hands and sprinkle it. Okay. So I'm going to start it at this end. And it's got to be tight. Okay. Amy, think you can take over?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just you want to roll it up kind of tight.
Yeah.
You see what I'm doing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me just wash my hands real quick.
Halfway.
Okay. You want it even, sweets, okay?
Okay.
So now maybe you can take it and put both hands on the side and roll it like that. There you go. There you go. Good. You're doing good, baby. Looks nice and even. Okay, do this side a little bit more. Okay. That looks so good. Okay. So you need to take the camera now because I need to move that. Okay. So what we're going to do here is...
Are we gonna cut off this excess?
Well, we're gonna deal with it. So what I'm doing here is
He's
I'm
closing
gonna
it.
tuck this in. I'm gonna pinch this off. This way it doesn't come unraveled
Yeah.
as it bakes. Okay.
Keep it tight. It's very tight.
So, this is our first attempt at this, and I think we did pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that seam on the bottom. Okay. Alright, so now we have to cut it. I was going to use a technique I saw, but I think I think my my dough is too soft. So what I'm going to do is
Angle?
about in the middle.
Are we doing an angled?
No,
Yep.
straight down.
Alright.
Okay, in the middle. In the middle. In the middle.
Those are really big.
In the middle. Middle. Okay. When the recipe I saw, it didn't say anything about spraying the pan, but I'm afraid
Yeah,
don't
because
spray
it's
it.
a little tacky.
if I don't spray it, it'll stick.
Yeah,
So
because
now
that we had bad experience with stuff sticking to
you
me.
take them.
Oh my god. They look good.
Okay. I'm sorry, sweetie. I just did it to you again. I'm not being rude.
I like how we have enough room.
Okay, so there. Now, I think they look fantastic, man.
Man.
So now we cover them and let them rise for about another 45 minutes or so, and then we bake them. So what I'm going to do is...
The knife almost fell on his toe.
Okay, so we're going to cover it. Put it back in here to rise.
So,
No, try it. Go ahead.
so they're done.
Okay, so they
They've risen.
rose, risen, rised, raised, whatever the word is.
And
About an hour. A little, I don't know, some are higher than the others, but you know what? Doesn't matter. We'll just leave them. And we set the temperature, 375. And they'll go in 375 for about 20 minutes. And, okay, put it right, and put it sideways.
I'm gonna work on the filling.
The icing.
Yeah.
The icing. So,
Okay, so now we're making the icing.
right. So, okay.
And you will need 1.5 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of melted butter.
1/4 cup of melted butter is 4 tablespoons. Usually on the packet, it'll have guidelines for how much.
1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, and after you're like mixing them together, see what the thickness is, and then add some milk.
Milk's gonna thin it out. So,
I need
okay.
a mixing utensil.
Oh, right here. I just washed that.
Gonna be careful not to spill. Need to add some milk.
Yeah. So you want to hold that, and I'll just I'm gonna actually, if you look on this shot glass, we're gonna put 2 teaspoons in. 2 teaspoons. And then let's see what happens with that. Okay. Okay, you can take over.
It's getting a little watery.
Once you get that big mass inside the whisk, once that gets in there, it'll thicken it up a little bit. Yeah, see, that's nice and thick now.
Can we add a little more milk?
We want to do another teaspoon. Look for the teaspoon line.
Right there.
No?
Right there.
I'm sorry, yes, you were right. That is, no, that's not a teaspoon.
Yeah, it is.
We look for tablespoon. I'm sorry.
Oh, tablespoon.
Tablespoon. Yes.
The one. Okay.
Nothing, no little chunks or anything?
Nope.
Okay, let me give it a quick, so. Just gonna get this stuff around the edges. That will go on, not as soon as it comes out. You want it to cool a little bit. If you put this on as soon as it comes out, it's just going to liquefy and just be on the bottom of the pan. So you want it to cool off before you put this stuff on. I'm just going to... Okay, so they baked at 375 for 20 minutes. We took them out, we let them cool, and now we're going to put the icing on. So you can basically just drizzle it over all of them. That's it, and then you just spread it out after. Don't forget this one. There. Okay, go ahead and spread it out before you scrape the rest of it out.
Okay.
Okay, now you can scrape the bowl out and put it over the ones that needs it more. Let's try this over here. Maybe that one over there. That's going to be it. That means they are done. I'm going to get some paper plates out. This is a special occasion and only the best. So we use paper plates. Yes, I'm being sarcastic. Okay, so I have no idea how to dig these out, so I'm just going to grab a spoon. Alright. And I'll grab maybe this one in the corner. Do you want to hold this for me? Okay.
That looks so good.
Go ahead, Em.
I'm kind of drooling right now.
Okay. You want a fork?
No, I'm good. They're good.
Are they good? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, you can look. See how moist it is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And, oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Now that's our first attempt. And I'm definitely gonna do it again.
Yeah.
So there you have it. It's a long process. It took us a couple hours between the, letting it rise and everything. It took a little bit longer because we videoed it, but you know what? It was definitely worth it. Mm-hmm. And that's it. All I can say is you gotta try this recipe. It's really good. Mm-hmm. Thanks for watching.